I kept looking into grants, and one of the grants that we got, I think it was in 1974, and this was interesting. There was funding the federal government was giving to what they established in what they called the offices of aging to serve older people, okay, period. So I went to the Oneida County Office of Aging, and a fellow by the name of Tony Montoya was running it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Tony, we serve older people. They just so happen to be visually impaired. We should be eligible to apply for a grant. He says, you know, you're right. And we did, and we got it. We got the grant, and it was the first one in the United States from the Office of Aging to serve visually impaired people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was great. So that was a source of income. We had the RSA money, and we were raising funds. So things were starting to click, okay?
So you went into manufacturing or what?
Oh, yeah, and well, that's when I hired this guy, okay? And I said, you know, we got to also generate some income from our manufacturing, and also we got to create more jobs. So in 76, Luca?
76.
I hired Luca in 1976, and the emphasis was we're going to expand employment opportunities and do things other than sewing. Because, you know, what we were doing at the time was we were going out to community sales, making products and selling them in Old Forge and Herkimer and Canastota, and we just weren't making it. I mean, it was good public relations. So when I hired Luca, I said the first thing is we've got to diversify, plus we got to expand our sewing. So you may want to talk about, we belong to Industries for the Blind in New York State. They had a preferred source program, but we weren't getting our share. And remember how we went to New York City?
Yeah, you know, I had 19 years of manufacturing management, so when I came here, I thought I had a lot to offer. But when Don explained to me how, you know, we were kind of looked upon as the little hick agency upstate New York, because there were like 5 huge agencies in New York City.
That's
and
right.
They used to get all of the orders from the state, and they would throw us a bone once in a while.
Right.
I said, Don, we've got to stop that. We have to make our presence known. So Don and I, we flew back and forth, Empire Airline at the time.
Yeah.
We attended these meetings, and we said, we need more. We've got people who need work. What better reason? And so anyways, so it began to unfold where now they were being a little more fair with us. And at the same time, I said to Don, we need some new products. We've got people that have a lot more skills than you realize.
Well, sewing is one of the most difficult things
It was
to learn.
difficult, yeah.
So again, we were doing work for the state, and then Don and I said, you know, we've got to talk to the National Industries for the Blind. We need some federal government contracts. So again, we made some calls to them, and I attended. Don sent me to a management seminar in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for a whole week. Learning how to work with people who are blind. It was excellent. George Mertz was in that class.
Yeah.
So anyways, when I come back,
Johnny
it's okay,
Granger.
we're ready for a product, guys. So he said, we're going to send 2 engineers up to see you, and we're going to talk about it. So they come up to Court Street, and I says, okay, you know, now, where's your other facility? I says, what other facility? He said, you can't be serious thinking you're going to do a federal government contract in 1,200 square feet of operation. So I said, well, you know, I came back to Don. I says, Don, they shot me down dead cold. They said we need another building. And that's where Don got on to the board, and
Yeah.
he and I actually went around the city shopping for a building.
We looked
And
everywhere.
we turned down, and they said to us, they said, look, we're going to tell you what you need in the building. It's not going to be just a building. You need docking, you need shipping, you need this, you need that. So we went looking around, and
Well,
go ahead, Don, from
yeah.
there, you know.
It was interesting because the contacts we made, we joined National Industries for the Blind. Even though we didn't have any work, we established relationships with them. And like Lucas said, let them know we're serious. The board's behind this. We're willing to invest. We're willing to expand, but we need help. And they put us in contact with a private company in New Jersey that had contacted them and said, you know, we do work for the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, and the airlines, and we need an organization to package these comfort kits, they call them. So we said, we'll take it, but we didn't have a building. So Luca went out, and what did we get? In Whitesboro, we rented space in, what was it called?
It's called the Kirk Guild.
Kirk Guild, an old factory.
Old factory.
And again, I wrote another grant with the Commission for the Blind, and they paid for a conveyor belt, What else? All the chairs.
Yeah,
Tables.
chairs.
It wasn't a big
All
grant, but
secondhand.
that's all secondhand stuff. We got that. We hired 13 people, blind people, just like that. And they paid, we rented the warehouse, and this company, Precise Promotions, brought all the products in. They paid for the products, but we paid us to package them. Who did we package it to? As I said, the Salvation Army, Eastern Airlines, Red Cross, and they shipped them all over the country. So that was our beginning of manufacturing.